Right on time. Right on time. Candyman slides into his seat with the insouciance of a Las Vegas performer. Look at you. How smooth are you? Good morning.
You were saying that I'm costing you money, the station money, so I give you a little more time to, say.
Oh, yeah, no, that's all we need. More commercials.
Yeah, we blow out commercials for you. Constituent service. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How
All
are
right,
you doing?
good. Nice to see you again. You come in once a month. You do Ask the Governor.
That's right.
You know what Smiley did the other day?
I have no idea.
Oh, he said, got any news? He said, no, everything's done. And he ran out and held a news conference.
Come on
the ice, and the whole thing with how he's going to deal with ice. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
You wouldn't do that to us.
No,
if I asked you if you have any news, you'd give me the news, right?
I'm going to an event in Bristol. I don't know whether it's newsworthy, but we're going to open up another a learning center in Bristol, as we head towards 20 learning centers in our 365 plan.
Make that simple. These are after school places in individual communities where the kids can continue to learn, do their homework, get help, and learn other things. You pushed this the first day I interviewed you when you won. You said you wanted to do this. You wanted to have after school centers in every community. Yeah.
So we got compacts with 38 communities to help us reach these goals that we've set to be the best in the country on our academics in the K through 12. And now we're opening up learning centers. Community learning centers, partnering with the municipal leaders, and I think we got about 21 of them that will be opening up there under construction now. So we're going down Bristol, and they're going to be opening one. And this is a distinction: it's out of school strategy, so that it's going to be a year-round effort to not only in these centers to create learning opportunities for young people, but earnings for families, and as well as health. So it's a big deal. It's going to be a big culture change, quite frankly, where we're going to start really embracing the idea that learning every day is not only fun, but it's important to our young people, important to the families, important to the state.
Okay, so after school, the kid goes there, and then weekends too. You have programs.
Yeah, it's going to be instead of after school, it's out of school. So when we're talking about year round, right? Yeah. Whenever the kids are not in school, there's going to be opportunities in these learning centers to come in and have fun, but also at the same time be learning. I got my shirt on right now. Math Matters. You see this one here?
Yes.
Math Matters.
That's a good look with a suit jacket, by the way. You got like a polo shirt on with.
Yeah, I do. But I'm headed to I dressed for my next my press event that's coming up. Right, Math Matters, which is we had 32 summer math camps going on this summer. And we'll have some news. I'll give you a little news that I think that we're going to do when the Rycast comes out in early October. I think that we're going to show progress.
In math and reading and English?
Math and reading, yeah.
And are you real progress, or how are you going to spin it?
No, I think it's going to be progress. We've closed the.
Well, tell me what you know, and since you let the cat out of the bag, give me the numbers. Come on. We blew a commercial out for you. Come on.
So the numbers are not concrete. All I know is that we're going to do good. Well, there's going to be good improvement there. We've closed it since I've been governor, Gene. We've closed the reading gap with Massachusetts by 34%, and that's going to. I believe that's going to. Increase again, and then I think we're about 18% right now on the math. That's why we're going to really double down on all the math issues right now for our kids and problem solving.
When you first said I want to meet or beat Massachusetts by 2030, we all snickered. Okay, but you know what? They're coming down. They're coming down in some categories. We're going slightly up. They're coming down. You might meet them halfway.
We are going to continue to have progress because of the work we're doing, because it's an all-in strategy. It's what we're doing with the out-of-school strategy out of our office, supported by the Commissioner Fonte Green, is going to support what's happening in the schools. And I'll just give me 20 more seconds here. It's not just about our district schools. When these learning centers open up, it's going to be about parochial schools, private schools. I just had a core group of parents in my office this week from homeschooling. They're going to be a great contribution, and one of them actually has their child go to the learning center that I opened up in Cumberland, I think in 2007.
Okay, let's go to the phones because this is Ask the Governor. You want to talk to the governor? Dial in 438-9776.
All right, Governor. First off, you're on camera, so just move to the left a little bit.
Yeah, this is something
to my left or your left.
So towards me a little bit.
I know that's easy for you. You could move to the left. I've asked you to move to the right.
No. Let me get me right in the middle here where I belong.
Is that good, Tom?
I think that's better.
Yeah.
Paul, go ahead, buddy.
Paul, you're on with the governor.
Okay, good morning. A couple of suggestions that could help ease the housing crisis and reinvigorate downtown Providence. Hospital Trust Tower is 70% vacant. If you got a developer to take it, convert it to student housing for Brown, PC, Johnson & Wales, Rhode Island College, you could open up probably several thousand apartments in the city of Providence, and the rents would come down.
Thanks for the call. This is Paul. He makes always suggestions. He has ideas.
Yeah, no, all the suggestions are good. We just had a press event yesterday. I think you mentioned it in Warwick with the hotel conversion there to like 190 middle income type of apartments. Gene, since I've been governor, we've started or saved 6,700 housing units. So we have a plan to 2030 again, which every year we add. We're going to have 15,000 starts. And part of that is going to be home ownership. We had a bond that was passed, the largest housing bond ever. The people passed that. We're using that. Shortly, we'll be coming out with a full-blown plan of how those dollars are going to get rolled out. $20 million in that bond is for home ownership. We need to make sure we have our young people have an opportunity to own a home as early as we can. And my goal is to build 1,000 housing units, which would be first-time home buyers.
Just quickly, it's going to become an issue in the Providence mayoral election. Do you support rent control, rent stabilization, or let the market decide that?
I'm more into the market, but I do believe we need to create more inventory. We need to produce more housing as we do, and that is going to help control costs.
That's no on rent control then.
Yeah,
rent stabilization. No.
I don't think that's the way to go.
Okay, let's go to the phones. Next caller for the governor.
Let's go to Steve. Go ahead, buddy.
Steve, you're on with the governor. Go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing this morning? I was just curious. You were talking about the learning centers that you were putting up, 27 of them. I'm wondering who's paying for these learning centers.
Yeah, so those learning centers, what I did is appropriate some of the federal dollars that came in early, and there's about $80 million that's being invested in these learning centers. And then the local communities will have a 5-year commitment to provide learning opportunities, earnings, because one of our goals is raise incomes, and then also health. So, and then we'll support that. But the initial dollars for the construction is coming from federal money.
Was that COVID money left over, or just?
It was funds that came in that you could use community outreach strategies to kind of get over the COVID issues. We put some of that money towards some technology, but we put a big base, and the General Assembly approved this. And it's going to be really important. These communities are going to open up these learning centers, as I said, Gene. I've been talking about this for a while. I know it's going to really help our kids, and then our families earn more dollars.
Just a footnote: is this a new building, new construction, or you use the schools, or you use the city hall? What do you use for the learning center?
This is a municipal-driven learning center. And many communities are partnering in with their schools. For instance, down in Newport, Middletown and Newport will have a learning center that they will share, and it'll be at the Housing Authority at an annex of a Boys and Girls Club. So every community is a different size. It's we're not saying this is a cookie cutter. All we want, but our office will help guide the programming that goes on to help raise our outcomes in our schools.
Next caller for the governor.
Jeff in Newport. Go ahead.
Jeff, go.
Hello, Governor. I've got a problem with the new Rogers High School. It's contaminated with lead, and nobody seems to want to do anything about it. There are reports out there about an independent soil testing company, and Rightum is just kicking the ball down the field and not doing anything about it.
Is the soil that the thing was built on, is it sporadic? Was it spot? What is it?
Yes, it was built on. The problem is there's a WW2 battery site there that no one really took a look at. They should have had ground penetrating radar to identify the conduits, the electrical conduits that were sealed with lead back in 1940. And no one is going to pick it up and identify it because it's going to cause a problem.
Okay, hold on. Let's get the governor's answer. Are you aware of this, first of all?
No, that's the first I'm hearing, but thanks for the call. I'll certainly follow up and get an answer for Gene in terms of whether that's an issue or not. This is news to me, so I'll check into it.
Okay, we're not going to tear the building down. You just built it, but
no, but
there's mitigation or something.
Mitigation potentially, yeah.
I guess your DEM would know about that.
That's what I got to check.
Okay,
the first I heard of it. Yeah,
fair enough. Next caller for the governor.
All right, Jay, go ahead, buddy.
Jay.
Hey, how you doing today, Governor?
I'm doing good, thank you.
I'm calling about an issue that's happening around the whole country now here in Rhode Island. It's called nitrous oxide. It's being sold in the local bodegas, convenience stores. They're selling it to everybody, large containers. Florida this past week made it a felony to sell, a misdemeanor to possess. It's a big epidemic. It's killing these kids. It's coming from China.
Okay,
you know about this?
Who made it illegal? Did you mention another state?
Florida just did this past week. Louisiana, Kentucky, they've done this last year.
Okay, hold on. Let me get. Hold on. Let's get the consultant Tom. He'll tell us what this is about, Governor.
Okay.
Maybe we'll learn something here.
Well,
What is
this
it?
This is like in the young age group
Yes.
that we don't understand.
We have to go
Gene?
different demographic.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of kids nowadays, this is a big thing around like teenagers and Gen Z kids. Nitrous oxide cans, it's an inhalant. They sell them in gas stations, and essentially it distorts them. It messes them up, but like it gives them a high. It's like it's a cheap high, but like they sell them in these big cans, and you go into a gas station, you see them sold in a glass box, and they like sell them for like $50, and it gets a kid high, and they drive around on it. It actually causes a lot of accidents.
This is
a real big issue.
This is new to me. Have you heard of this before? Nitrous oxide.
This is new to me, but I'm happy the caller called up. Well, look, we'll check into these things and see whether it's an issue for us here.
It is.
It is.
Oh yeah, no. Every gas station,
$50 for a can,
$25 to $50, and like they stick it up to their nose and they inhale it.
And you get high from it, or you just get
it gives you
crazy?
It gives you a head rush high.
Oh.
And it like makes you lightheaded, but it's supposed to make you feel a certain type of way.
If this is that's just how the governor's office works, if this is something that's as serious and as dangerous as Tom is leading us to believe, do you have the power to ban that immediately with an executive order? If you go out and say this is true, this is crazy, can you do that?
I believe I can if it's a health issue, or we'll address it in the next session, like we did some vaping, because the vaping is not healthy either for kids. So. Look, our office takes notes on everything you say, Gene. So we'll I'm heard these notes are being taken, and we'll follow up.
I can tell you where you can go find them right now.
All right,
go to the mobile on Valley Street. There's a bottom shelf.
Have you been there recently, Tom?
I live down the block from it.
He's an Olneyville. Yeah,
I'm an Olneyville resident.
He vapes too, Governor. I'm going to snitch on him.
You're a narc.
That's
Look at
bad.
you.
That's bad.
It's bad. It's not.
It's not a flavored one. It's a menthol one. It's a legal one.
You should not do it.
It's not good for you.
All right.
Just let you know.
Look at you.
But
what
do they call these things, Tom?
They're nitrous oxide cans.
So that sounds like it's worse. So we don't want those in Rhode Island.
I don't like it. All right.
Kills your brain cells.
Yeah. We need our brain cells. Let's go. Next caller for the governor.
That won't help our learning center effort.
No, we don't want to do that.
No.
Next.
Dave, go ahead.
Dave, go ahead. Dave in Rumford, go ahead.
Once,
twice. This is not like Dave to Mrs. Q.
Let's just do Robert. Go ahead.
Robert, go ahead. You're on a radio.
Hi, Governor. So when everything first happened with the bridge, you had given a press conference, and during that press conference, you had mentioned that there was going to be a day of reckoning, which I interpreted to mean that you were going to hold certain people accountable for the failure of that bridge, which I'm currently sitting in traffic on right now. So I just want to know who, if anyone, has been held accountable, and how have they been held accountable? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Look, we're filing lawsuit against 11 companies. We did a full in-depth legal outlook on everything that happened there, and the conclusion was that we believe that the people who were doing the inspections, the people who were actually providing the information that we were following, that we ended up repairing a bridge that was not repairable. And 90 days after I closed it down to keep everybody safe, and I'm happy that everybody has been safe, we determined that we needed to build a new bridge. So the day of reckoning came when I hired the law firm that came forward in a period of time and actually filed a lawsuit against the companies that I believe should be held accountable.
Do you regret using that phrase? Because everybody glommed up.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's being used in a way that, I'm clarifying where the day of reckoning came when we determined where I believe the responsibility should be held. And now we're in a legal process with companies. It's going to take a little time. So I certainly should have clarified that. But at the same point in time, trust me, the companies that we filed suit against saw their day of reckoning, and they see that there's going to be settlements that are going to have to be paid.
Now, the Attorney General told me, he's handling the case, by the way. He said that very, very well at the end, it could be the blame could be parceled out, and they may say, okay, the inspector this much percentage and the state this much percentage. Are you prepared for that?
Yeah, I mean that's how negotiations happen in settlements like this. I'm sure that there'll be some level of at some point. I'll be meeting with the legal team. Besides the Attorney General is heading it up, but we've hired a legal team that did the initial research for us, and I'll be meeting with them on a regular basis to get the update and see where we are in timing. But yeah, Day of Reckoning kind of gave the impression that it was going to happen immediately. Yeah. Well, once we did all the discovery, we find out that where I believe that the accountability should be held is got to go through a legal process. It's going to take time.
It'd be nice if that case wrapped up before you go to Election Day, wouldn't it?
It'd be nice.
You think that's going to happen?
I have no idea, Gene, but all I know is we'll accelerate it as quickly as we can, and it'll be done in a way where the state is proceeding in the correct way.
Okay, speaking of unresolved issues, the state is being sued in conjunction with the Providence School Department for discriminatory action for giving student loans only for teachers of color. Justice Department is suing you about that. Tom's giving me the break signal. You think about that, and we'll get your answer on whether that's right or wrong after the break.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back to the calls.
Governor, I'll talk about the airline. You're going to go to California. Tell us about that story. In the meantime, it's 8:27. Governor, Justice Department is suing your state, or you, and the Providence School Committee because you allowed a program funded by the Rhode Island Foundation, which, boy, every time they're in the news, they're controversial, that Rhode Island Foundation. They gave the money and said, forgive the loans for teachers of color only. Justice Department says you can't do that. That's discriminatory. Your take on this, would you like to settle this and make it go away, or are you going to really fight this?
Well, first, I think everybody should know that's no state or federal dollars that are in that program, right? That was a recommendation that came from the Rhode Island Foundation. The Providence schools accepted those dollars, which kind of makes sense to me. If somebody wants to give money to help offset some tuitions for their teachers, makes some sense. But in this situation, we're going to have to work our way through the legal issues. But I think the most important thing, it's not federal money, it's not tax money. It's a program that was initiated by the Rhode Island Foundation and accepted by the Providence schools.
I know, but you know what? They're not being sued. You're being sued. The city's being sued. And it says, look, on face value, you just can't forgive loans for a person of color, and a white person can't apply. It's wrong, the Justice Department says. You can't do it. You can't administer a program like that. Why don't you make it go away?
Well, it's got to go through a legal process now, Gene. So I'm, let it run its course, and then certainly where it lands, we'll accept it. But the main thing right now is the people should know that it's not federal dollars, it's not state dollars, it's foundation dollars that came in to support that program.
You support it in principle? The idea that you're only going to forgive loans for people of color, administered through a government agency?
Well, I think that one of the things is for sure is that we do want to make sure that we have a teacher pool that reflects the classrooms that they're in. And so we certainly do encourage that in many ways.
Two different things, Governor. Nobody's arguing on that. It's forgiving money. And the government says you can't do it that way.
Let's see where the case ends up. But I understand the concept that you're talking about.
Okay, it's coming up on 8:30. The governor's going to stay with us. Governor, you're going to go out to California?
Yeah, going to go out to visit one of our investors that has just opened up 150,000 square feet down in Quonset. Andrew, the company, it's a 30-something billionaire called Palmer Luckey, and I'm going to start going out and really thanking these innovators for investing in Rhode Island, and hope they share their network with us.
Good, and you're going to fly Breeze too. The governor's going to stay with us for another half hour. This is Ask the Governor on the News with Gene Valicenti.
All right, we're back.
All right, Governor, you're going to fly Breeze out to Los Angeles. When, where, and what's the mission?
So I think it's around October 20th, sometime in that time frame, going to Los Angeles. But the mission is that we're going to really find the top innovators in the country. Palmer Luckey is one of them, just invested 150,000 square feet down in Quonset, building unmanned submarines. Big time guy. So I've reached out to that office. I'm going to have an hour meeting with him, and I'd say thanks for investing in Rhode Island, and share your networking with us in a way that we can continue to grow. We got Regent down there in Quonset. We've got Organogenesis in Smithfield. These are hundreds of jobs, 36,000 new private sector jobs since I've been governor, Gene. This is not a small move, and adding companies like that with Amazon, 1,500 jobs. We're building millions of square feet of buildings that are supporting those jobs that are being grown.
Okay.
Millions of square feet.
Okay, so you're going to go meet with Palmer. He's already bringing the unmanned subs to Quonset. Are you asking him, put together a group? I want to meet with other people because I want to sell Rhode Island. Is that part of the mission? You're going to have a seminar or something?
So on the Hasbro, I put together a bunch of CEOs, that actually made direct contacts to Chris Cox, telling them why they're investing in Rhode Island. These are big companies, top-notch CEOs, innovators. So we're using that core group, and now we're going to identify innovators all around the country. Palmer Luckey is somebody who has actually invested in Rhode Island. But we're hoping that what happens is that they're going to share their network with us. And Rhode Island is a really good place. It's a growing place. The economy is working right now, and we have the ocean. That is really a big deal in particular in the defense industry.
Okay, so October, you fly Breeze out to Los Angeles. You meet with Palmer. You're hoping to meet with others. Now, you mentioned Hasbro. Hasbro's the bad story. They're leaving us. There's nothing new on that. There's no reversal of fortune. They're gone, correct? Within a year?
They're going to be here within, I think, 18 months or something like that. We'll definitely help the people who are going to want to stay and not move up to Boston. And also the people who stay in Rhode Island and work in Boston, they'll still be employed. But look, we thank them for their time here. I don't think they made the right decision relative to what we actually offered, both on a municipal side, the state side of the assistance. We did make it contingent on that they would have so many jobs. I'm not sure that they could even make sure that happened.
You could have built the guy the Taj Mahal. Cox doesn't want to stay. He doesn't want to be in Rhode Island. Right. He's made that clear. Now, before he made his decision, he hung us out to dry for a while, didn't he? You had Dave Nealman from Breeze and other CEOs call Hasbro, the guy Cox, and try to persuade him otherwise. Tell me a little about that. So, that's a little backstory.
I put together really some top CEOs along with the universities. I asked these CEOs if they would make a direct contact to Chris Cox. They did. They had calls. Multiple companies, the heads of those companies. I did mention off the air that Dave was one of them. I hope he doesn't mind that I use his name. But he was very cooperative. But he was that new guy in the block that says, I met with the governor when I determined when I was coming, setting up the hub in Providence. That was a competitive situation. And we put the best foot forward, in particular, destination marketing that didn't exist before I was governor, and is paying off. So, yeah, Dave was one of those. I really appreciate.
Can you give me some other names?
That.
Who else called on your behalf? Did you have Raimondo call? Who did you have call?
So it's the major companies, right? So certainly Fidelity was on that list. Citizens was on that list.
Textron.
Right? I haven't met Textron completely yet, but we plan to reach out to them in this whole effort. So, but it also was university presidents, right? Okay. We had university presidents on there. We did a full court press on this, but what happened from that, Gene, is that the core group that I put together, as we're talking about, identifying innovators, they actually want to stay together. And I can tell you one of the people that really helped was, to help that out. Actually, Stephen Pryor was volunteering when he wasn't even, employed by the state. So there was a number of people, and they want to keep this going. We brought Don Schweitzer into the discussion.
Don Schweitzer,
GTEC, because they had a foot out the door. Don was really helpful to us as we organized this, the core group. Now that core group wants to stay together. We're going to expand that. That's the reason I'm traveling out to California to invite Palmer Luckey to join us.
By the way, let me revise my remarks on Hasbro. Listen, that's a private company. They do whatever they want to do. I think the disappointment was that we know the guy was never going to stay here. So he was jerking our chain. He was never going to stay here. That's all. And you drag this out, and that's the only disappointment with Hasbro. But private company, you do whatever you want to do. All right, let's go to the phones. Go ahead.
Let's go to Dave first.
Dave, go ahead. Dave, unlike you to miss your slot. You're slipping a little bit.
No, a different Dave. This is a different
Dave. Go ahead.
No, this is a different Dave.
Other Dave had to go to the end of the line.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Governor.
Good morning,
I would like
Dave.
to know. Yeah, good morning. I'd like to know, with the recent information that came out this week from the president of Rhode Island Energy, telling us that renewables are just not there yet. The cost is too expensive. We're paying for it right now, which my electric bill has almost tripled. I'd like to know why you won't push for the pipeline into Rhode Island to alleviate our electric bills like ASAP.
He's right, because Cornette, the guy who runs Rhode Island Energy, said, I'd like a pipeline, and I buy my energy from all different places. I have to buy it from the windmills because you make me. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, we're very pleased that the court decided that Revolution Wind could continue. That is a project that is going to bring in a kilowatt cost less than what we're paying right now on a 20-year basis. But I'm happy you asked that question, because I've said this multiple times, and Gene has a big audience, so I'm sure people will repeat it. We're all in. And I've talked to Secretary Burgum, who was a former governor, which I know personally, through this whole process, even before the Revolution Wind was shut down, to let him know that we need energy sources. I talked to the Oklahoma governor. Think about this, Gene. Oklahoma governor Kevin Steady chairs the National Governors Association. I called him on the Revolution Wind issue. They have the 6th largest reserve of natural gas and oil in the country. We don't have an oil well. We don't have a gas line, and so we're not as competitive as we need to be, on our energy sources. So we're all in. We passed legislation this year that I put in so that we could actually, if there's excess nuclear coming from the plant in Connecticut.
Let me just interrupt. His specific question was, would you support the construction of a natural gas pipeline?
Yeah, we are on the record. I am on the record saying that if there's an opportunity to bring a natural gas line to the state, we would open up serious conversations on that.
Okay.
Certainly the conditions that related to it are unknown. We have to kind of look at that from a practical point of view. But yeah, we're all in. And when I was with Governor Lamont this week in Connecticut, we expressed that again. Look, the Revolution Wind is going to help us. It's an industry that we have an ocean, and we're going to use it. But we also need to be an all-in strategy, whether it's nuclear, whether it's a gas line, whether it has to do with, we don't get the advantage of hydro like Vermont does. But if there was any source of energy, and that's why I went down to the Public Utility Commission a week ago and stood in front of them and said, look, you need to do everything you can to reduce the cost on people's utility bills.
Okay. How about this, Governor? He said about 36% is mandates that the legislature has passed, that all kinds of crazy green stuff. That's why your bill is high. Why don't you get rid of all those mandates and everything that the legislature passed? Cut people's bill by 30-odd%. Why don't you do that?
So, look, we've been in the energy business in our family.
True, you're in oil retail person.
We understand the futures. We understand hedging the contracts. Our biggest problem is that we don't have an oil well, we don't have a gas line, and so we have to ship our energy in, and it's costly. I'm the only, as a lieutenant governor, I intervene in dockets at the PUC over and over and again on behalf of the ratepayers. I am focused on finding a path that can help contain or control these costs. Right now, there are some situations that the General Assembly has passed. I vetoed a bill that had to do with increasing the cost. It was going to cost $50 to $60 million more. And I vetoed a bill in my first or second year as governor that didn't allow that to happen.
The dirty little secret is the legislature, the politicians have been busy up there passing all kinds of laws that the energy company, electric company puts on the bill because the politicians made them. Green, climate change, solar. It's all on the bill because the politicians make the electric company put it there. It's about 30% is my understanding. All right. If you want to cut, you could get together and say, let's get rid of this stuff.
We're going to verify those numbers because obviously it's become front center news, front page news. I'll be calling people in and taking a serious look at that. But like I said, when a legislation came my way, in I think the first year or second year as governor, I vetoed it because the Division of Public Utilities said this was going to add significant costs. So the call is right. I think it's a combination of all the things. But quite frankly, the problem that Rhode Island has and the region has is that we don't have direct supplies.
Okay, bottom line is, if there's a way to put a gas line into Rhode Island, you would support it. And you will take a look at all of these fees and mandates and climate stuff that accounts for a good chunk of your bill because they make the electric company charge you. By the way, electric company talked about wind power. You're a big fan. You got Trump so far. You beat him. I don't know if he's going to go to the appeals court and beat you back. But you know what the electric company guy said, Greg Cornette? He said it only works half the time. Play it. You're expending a lot of political capital. A lot of money's going into this thing for half the time, Governor.
So, Gene, when a procurement came in front of me in the last 24 months that said it was going to be at 17 cents a kilowatt, I said no. This is at under 10 cents a kilowatt, 9.8 cents a kilowatt.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is for a 20-year time frame, electrifying over 200,000 homes in the state of Rhode Island, and at a cost that's better than we have right now. So we're not going to just go with a wind situation that adds a significant cost. This particular case is one that is going to work for Rhode Island on three ways. One, it provides jobs. We've invested over $100 million in the supply chain strategies, whether it's at the Provport or it's in Quonset.
Mm-hmm.
This project is 80% complete, 90% of the transmission line complete. This is something that's going to go forward, and it's going to help our ratepayers control costs. It's not the panacea. We need to have other sources of energy, whether it's nuclear.
Okay.
If they can provide a gas line under the right circumstances, and the other states go along with it. Right now, Ned Lamont's, certainly speaking the same language I am.
Well,
and he's the governor.
You're correct. It's 80% built. It's 80% built. And now you have permission to go continue building it unless Trump runs to the appeals court and reverses it. But right now, that's a feather in your cap. And Nerona was a friend of the court brief, I think, but it was really Orsted, the construction company, that fought the thing and got the favorable ruling. Okay, next caller.
All right, just a real quick note. You're in South Kingstown today for the Learning Center, not Bristol.
Oh, my God. Well, Bristol's going to have one, too.
Yes.
Sometimes
there you go.
Sometimes I don't know where I'm going.
There you go.
No, that's all right.
Don't quote that. Don't tape that one. That'd be tough. That'd be tough. It'd be repeated over the day.
South Kingstown gets the Learning Center. The governor's coming to visit you.
Yes.
And Bristol, you'll get one at some point too.
It's coming.
Right,
Carol, go ahead. Carol,
go ahead.
Yeah, Governor, thank you for taking my call. I looked at the back of my electric bill, and there was a $6 charge that every single household in the state of Rhode Island gets charged. So I called Rhode Island Energy, and the girl who answered the phone said, that is the charge that they charge us, but our blessedness of being their customer. What is that $6 for? And if you multiply $6 times the tens of thousands of homes in Rhode Island, that's a lot of flipping money.
Carol, what is the specific $6 for? You didn't tell us. What is it? What does it say?
It says, quoting, charge for being a customer.
Okay, that's all right. Go ahead, Governor.
Yeah, I'm with you. Is it Carol?
Carol.
Yes, I'm with you. That's why I was at the PUC just a week ago saying that you need to look at every one of these charges, and then you need to substantiate that. And where you can, you need to lower the charge. And I sent a letter in March to the PUC and the division. What we got back was, which I think was good, we got about a couple $100 million that's going to be credited off bills over the next 2 years. And then I went and actually said, you need to do more. I asked them to do at least another $25 million in this billing cycle. So we are going to continue to take a look at these issues. I've been there and intervening with the PUC now since I was a mayor. Helping our ratepayers on water in Cumberland. Okay. And I've also I was the one who intervened and said when they changed the tax law in 2017, Gene, and we had set up the rates prior to that they were getting profits they didn't deserve, and I recovered almost $36 million. I think I'm the only lieutenant governor that's ever signed an MOU on behalf of the state. So I'm with you, Carol. Mm-hmm. So if you've got other issues, and I think we need to continue to make the noise that you're making. These fees that are on the bill, we need to lower them at this point in time because homeowners and ratepayers and people in Rhode Island need the relief now more than they need, these extra charges.
The time flies, Governor. Let's do a lightning round. Just give me a quick short answer. Mayor Smiley says he's ordered his police department not to preemptively cooperate with ICE if they're making raids. In other words, don't call us. Don't call us. Is that a good policy, Governor? It seems to me that if they're going to get in the apartment, I'd like to see a local police department at least closing off the street. You don't have to go grab the guy with ICE, but at least can you keep crowd control? Look what happened, Governor.
I think I've been very clear. If there's criminals, we're going to, certainly cooperate with ICE. We're not going to profile your family or my family, Gene, and that's important to do. That's breaking the Constitution. I think that they need a path for citizenship, if just like Reagan did, and also they need a policy. For God's sake, Congress needs to pass a policy in terms of immigration that we can understand. And of course, we should be controlling our borders. So those are the 5 things that I stand on. That.
And practically, if the ICE says I'm going to come in, I'm going to be in an apartment on Broad Street, wherever it's going to be. Can you guys come and help me with crowd control? Would you send the state police and at least keep the people from getting up in their face?
It depends on the purpose of the the visit, right?
Okay.
If it's showing that they have, because we need more than just to retain somebody based on the federal courts. But if they're in show us that there's criminal behavior that they are pursuing, we want the criminals out of our communities because we want them to be safe.
Okay, this notion about calling ICE Nazi thugs, you spoke against that.
Yeah, I got
a
little backlash because I thought that was just disrespectful.
Yeah. Well, who do you care? How could you call enforcement agents Nazi thugs? That's terrible. Look, they just shot down in Texas. They killed 2 detainees.
Well,
right?
One shooter.
The one
did.
guy, yeah.
Yes. I don't like to get put into, these Democrats are doing this. I'm a Democrat, and I certainly wouldn't be supporting that type of behavior. Look, we got to make sure that people are protected, whether you're ICE agents or whether you are citizens, or you are just you're individuals that are not creating crimes. That you don't have a right to go and profile these individuals.
No, it was. You're right. It was one shooter. We understand he was angry at ICE, and he just was. We understand he was shooting at the agents, but wound up killing the detainees. All right, Governor. It just came up in conversation. That's not you, but a general conversation. Yeah. That's it, Governor. Thanks. 8:53.
Thanks, Gene.
All right, always good to have you in.
Thanks to the callers too, please.
I appreciate it. Safe trip to California.
Yeah, that's the plan.